What's up, Luke? Come on, thank you for coming to my wedding. The pocket's only here if you want to give gifts and donations.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our annual New Year Gala 2018. I'm very happy to see you here. We have a great program for you. We work very hard at it, or at least our president is, and have a wonderful evening for you. As you know, that we have quite a few programs throughout the year. We have the scholarship, and we have the Christmas dinner, among other CME programs, right? But this is the only one that you actually paid. So I know that you're here because you chose to be here. It's not because you're here for a free meal. So I'm very honored and happy that you're here. And with that, I'd like to introduce to you our president, Dr. Phúc Dan. But before I do anything, this event is put together entirely by him. You have no idea how much work it is to put this together. I take no credit in it. I'm standing up here. I'm asked to be up here, so I'm up here. But he virtually emailed everybody, mailed out the invitation, chose the venue, and put all of this together. And it's a tremendous amount of work. He told me that he hasn't slept until 2 a.m. every morning or every night. So with that, Bác sĩ Phúc, could you please come up to the stage?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dr. Phúc Dan. It is a great honor and true delight for me to represent the Vietnamese Physician Association of Northern California to welcoming you all to the annual Spring Educational Program and the Vietnamese Lunar New Year celebration of our association. And here's to a warm welcome to members of the Northern California Association of Vietnamese American Dentists and the Northern California Vietnamese Pharmacists Association. I cannot express how grateful I am to see all of you here with us this evening. For the last 20 plus years, whenever spring comes, we hold the biggest educational program of the year. This time, there will be a very interesting lecture about lung conditions. The program is sponsored by many pharmaceutical companies, including Sunovion, Amgen, AstraZeneca, Boehringer Ingelheim, Gilead, Janssen, Sanofi, and Westwall. I want to express our sincere appreciation to pharmaceutical company Sunovion for its very generous sponsorship, and its representative, Marsha Lauder, who really made the program possible. I would like to extend our gratitude to the other drug companies that have sponsored us consistently over time. In addition to the educational program, we are here to celebrate the Lunar New Year, the year of the dog. Our Vietnamese people have different ways of expressing our happiness and hoping thoughts for the coming year. One traditional way is we hang a spring couplet, which is a pair of lines of poetry. We adhere to certain rules on the sides of doors leading to our homes or an interior. Following this tradition, we hung a spring couplet on both sides of the corridor leading to this ballroom. Please allow me to read it in Vietnamese and then I will translate its meaning into English. Kính thưa toàn thể quý vị, thay mặt Hội y sĩ Việt Nam Bắc Cali, chúng tôi trân trọng gửi tới quý vị hai câu đối Tết cho năm mới Mậu Tuất. Chúc Tết đến trăm điều như ý, mừng xuân sang, vạn sự thành công. And here is English version. Wish you everything will be as it should be. All plans will be successful as you expect in the year of the dog. Ladies and gentlemen, before I hand over to our MCs, Dr. Xuân Hà Lê and Dr. Sherman Trần, I want to say one more time, welcome. Prepare yourself excited and inspired. Thank you very much.
Bây giờ chúng ta sẽ bắt đầu chương trình sau lời cảm ơn và lời chào mừng của bác sĩ. Và sau đây chúng tôi sẽ bắt đầu phát họa chương trình tối hôm nay. Thưa quý vị, sau lời mời chào của bác sĩ Phúc thì bây giờ chúng ta sẽ đến sau đó là đến chương trình hội thảo về y khoa. Và chương trình hội thảo y khoa hôm nay sẽ do bác sĩ Peter Phạm phụ trách, và bác sĩ Sherman trong một phút sau đây sẽ nói nhiều hơn về đề tài y khoa chúng ta sẽ nghe tối hôm nay, cũng như nói về những credentials và những kinh nghiệm của bác sĩ Phạm. Sau phần hội thảo về y khoa thì chúng tôi muốn nhắc nhở quý vị, nếu có thể thì quý vị nên đợi đến sau khi bác sĩ nói chuyện xong thì chúng ta sẽ đưa những câu hỏi lên, và quý vị có thể biên câu hỏi xuống một tờ giấy, bất cứ một tờ giấy nào, và cho bác sĩ Sherman để cho chúng ta có thể giúp cho bác sĩ Phạm không có bị gián đoạn trong cuộc nói chuyện của anh ấy. Vâng. Và sau phần hội thảo y khoa thì chúng ta sẽ đến mời bác sĩ Phúc trở lại, và bác sĩ Phúc sẽ tường trình về tất cả những hoạt động của hội trong năm vừa qua, cũng như là những ý niệm mới trong năm sắp đến. Và sau phần đó, thưa quý vị, thì chúng ta sẽ đến phần vui của đêm nay. Phần vui của đêm nay sẽ là những chương trình văn nghệ rất đặc sắc, và phần văn nghệ đầu tiên sẽ là phần văn nghệ của ban văn nghệ của VPANC do bác sĩ Nguyễn Văn Thịnh và bác sĩ Phan Mỹ Dung điều khiển. Đây là một đội văn nghệ rất là trường kỳ của hội VPNC bao nhiêu năm nay rồi, và chúng tôi đã có một thời gian rất ngắn hoạt động với hội văn nghệ này, và chúng tôi xin một tràng pháo tay rất to cho bác sĩ Nguyễn Văn Thịnh và bác sĩ Phan Mỹ Dung. Thì tôi đã biết trong một thời gian ngắn tất cả những công phu và những lao lực của các bác sĩ tập luyện trong những đêm rất là giá lạnh vào mùa đông để có thể đem lại những chương trình như thế này cho quý vị. Bởi vậy cho nên tuy là đội gà nhà nhưng thưa quý vị, có lẽ là đội hay nhất của đêm nay. Và chủ đề của đội là một chủ đề về xuân. Và thưa quý vị, nói về xuân thì tôi chỉ muốn nói đến một cái kinh nghiệm bản thân trong những năm gần đây. Có lẽ là những kỷ niệm về xuân và Tết Nguyên đán là những kỷ niệm đẹp nhất của những người Việt tha hương khi nghĩ về thời trẻ và thời trẻ con của mình. Tại sao đẹp? Là tại vì có lẽ lúc đó mình không biết tiền là gì, cũng không biết khổ là gì, và mình chỉ biết là chờ một cái áo mới, hay là chờ những tiếng pháo, chờ những chợ ở Bến Thành có những quầy bánh mứt rất nhiều, và chờ đồng tiền lì xì, chờ nồi bánh chưng. Và cái đó là cái không khí Tết mà có lẽ là tôi không bao giờ quên. Nhưng khi tôi quay trở lại quê hương trong những năm gần đây, thưa quý vị, thì có lẽ là người về nhưng người thì đã quá già, cảnh thì lại quá đổi thay, cho nên là không thấy cái hương vị Tết đó. Nhưng đêm hôm nay tôi rất mong là sẽ được trở lại một phần nào cái hương vị Tết của quê hương chúng ta, vì chủ đề của chương trình văn nghệ của ban VPNC sẽ là Ngày Xuân trong kỷ niệm. Và tôi nghĩ rằng cái tên đó quả thật rất đích thực, rất chính xác, là tại vì không có ngày xuân, không có cái Tết nào đẹp bằng cái Tết trong ký ức của chúng ta. Bởi vậy cho nên tôi rất là mong chờ chương trình văn nghệ của VPNC hôm nay. Sau phần văn nghệ của VPANC, chúng ta sẽ đến một phần dạ vũ, không kém phần hào hứng và hấp dẫn, thưa quý vị. Bởi sở dĩ tôi nói vậy vì chúng ta sẽ có một ban nhạc rất hay, là ban nhạc upbeat, và chúng ta sẽ có sự đồng diễn của hai ca nghệ sĩ rất nổi tiếng trong cộng đồng Việt Nam. Đó là nghệ sĩ Hoài Phương, một người có một tiếng đàn saxophone thật là tuyệt diệu mà tôi đã từng hâm mộ trong những băng nhạc và những lần trình diễn của anh ở Paris by Night. Ngoài ra còn có một cô ca sĩ mà có lẽ là ông xã của tôi hôm nay sẽ rất là hào hứng khi nhận thấy cô trên sân khấu, và đó là nữ ca sĩ Hồ Hoàng Yến. Tại vì không những cô hát hay mà cô còn rất đẹp, cho nên tôi mong là quý vị sẽ hưởng ứng sự hiện diện của các ca sĩ rất là famous ở đêm hôm nay. Với những lời giới thiệu sau đó thì tôi xin chỉ kết thúc bằng cảm ơn tất cả quý vị đã hiện diện hôm nay, và xin chúc quý vị một bữa cơm tối thật ngon, một buổi họp mặt cùng với tất cả các bạn hữu và các đồng nghiệp thật ấm cúng trong không khí Tết, và xin quý vị được một năm mới thật bình an và rất nhiều sức khỏe. Xin cảm ơn quý vị.
Once again, welcome to our annual Tết Festival Gala. One thing that you know about Vietnamese is a very flowery language. You know? So all of what she said basically can boil down to a few sentences. The program tonight is going to be an educational CME event, followed by an outline of the program in the past year by our president. Then follow up with an entertainment program that's going to be performed by our own physicians, to be followed by a professional band singer that we have vetted, and I guarantee you they are very good, with a well mixed between Vietnamese and English. I think that you will find it entertaining, and it's going to be first rated. It's going to be great. The meal is actually very good. Dr. Phuc and my wife actually chose the menu, and I'm sure you're going to be pleased with the menu.
I will now.
Did I miss anything else?
Basically, you have mentioned everything and summarized everything. So
Okay,
thank you for
perfect.
being very succinct.
All right.
So I will now pass the microphone to you, because Dr. Sherman now will be introducing the guest speaker for tonight, and it will be a wonderful guest speaker, and I probably will have a question for him. And I would just like to remind the audience to please write your questions, if possible, on a piece of paper, any kind of piece of paper, and we will transfer that piece of paper towards the end of the conference to Dr. Sherman, who will then have Dr. Peter Tran answer all the questions. That way the flow of the conference will be very smooth. Thank you.
It's my pleasure to introduce to you Dr. David Pham. Dr. David Pham spent 70% of his research his time on research. He's founded his own research trial site at Alliance Research Institute, where he is actively involved in clinical research on asthma and COPD. He has 2 fellowships, immunology fellowship at the National Institute of Health, the National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Disease, and another fellowship in pulmonary critical care medicine at the University of Colorado and National Jewish Health, which is the #1 pulmonary in the United States. It's rated #1 by the US News and World Report. He spent 12 years in training, wow, and 20 years in practice up to this point, and has 20 years experience and involvement in 100 clinical trial research in both COPD and asthma, and written peer-reviewed articles and reviewed chapter in the field. He currently serves as an advisory board member for several pharmaceutical companies, including Novartis, with experience in phase 2 of clinical development trial of the drug called Utibron, which is something he's going to talk to you about tonight. The topic of the talk tonight is proven long-acting muscarinic antagonist for the management of COPD. And the program is sponsored by Sanovian. And they are the one who pays for the majority of your meal and the majority of tonight's event. And we're proud to have them as a sponsor. So with that, may I have Dr. Fab on stage?
Sean, for those wonderful words of introduction. So, as of 2017, the COPD guidelines has changed in the management of COPD. Most of us are used to using LABA, ICS, which is Advair, and so on, for treatment of COPD. And that paradigm has shifted in the recent guideline changes, which we'll get into. In the past, if you look at the left side column, airflow limitation was based on lung function. FEV1, 80%, 50%, and 30%. And now, we're shifting that to symptom-based. MMRC on the bottom, symptoms. And for many of us, we know that COPD causes shortness of breath. But a lot of times when we get older, we feel that, oh, I'm just getting old, not that we can't breathe. And so the shift in the bottom of MMRC2 is that if you had a 60-year-old and another 60-year-old that never smoked and they're playing golf, one of them will feel short of breath by 8 or 9 holes, whereas the other one is still walking fine and still playing 18 holes without a problem. And because he's short of breath at that time compared to his peers, it will score him a 2. And those patients should be treated aggressively beyond the albuterol that they get. Second point of change is that now, if they are hospitalized, that would score them up to a C level, and they're more severe and they should be more aggressively treated. This is a little bit, a lot of information on the slide set, but the point here is, if you look at group D, they put all the ICSs, all the drug combinations that have steroids in it, is now pushed to the more severe category, in part because of their data, and in part because they have more side effects associated with pneumonia and so on. And LAMA and LABA combinations are more in the B and C category. Now, the other thing that has changed is that GOLD guideline has shifted more towards the device. A lot of our patients do not breathe well, therefore they do not inhale well. And because they can't inhale well, their compliance rate is only 23%. So if you can create a device that is low resistance, easy to use, like sucking through a straw. How many patients can suck through a straw? Okay, so it's pretty simple and easy to use. And this is actually has been studied to have the lowest resistance possible. So you don't need a lot of flow to inhale and deliver the drug to your lungs. So the new product is Seabree. The drug inside it is glycopyrrolate or glycopyrrolum. How many anesthesia in the room? Sure. Glycopyrrolate is an anesthetic that's been around for about 30 years or so, right? Not anymore? Oh, okay. Sorry. So it's been around for a long, long time. It's now used because of its anti-muscarinic effects in the lung. And in anesthesia, if you have coughing and so on, it actually helps suppress cough in anesthetics a long time ago. Okay, so now they're using it for lungs. And it's been repackaged to be delivered through a little retailer device. So the trials are basically done against placebo. And it's mostly male, 60%, 50 pack years of tobacco, and most of the lung function is low. The one thing that is always interesting, and whenever I present, is that their function improves by 20%. Most people say, oh, that's asthma. Actually, the reason why it's 20% is that they're given Combivent, albuterol, and Atrovent at 6 puffs. 30 minutes later, the lung function is measured. And it's because of those two combinations that you get that response. It's not because they're asthmatic. And the shift also is that in the past we used to report FEV1 within the first 30 minutes, and now it's shifting towards area in the curve to show that the lung function improves over a 12-hour period and not a 30-minute improvement. So the data is pretty simple. If you use the inhaler, you get a functional improvement about 130, 140 mLs. And that if you forget to use your inhaler, and you've been using it for a long period of time, over 3 months, as this trial has shown, even if you forget, your lung function is already improved by 110 mL. And if you take it again, you get an additional improvement post-inhalation. So that's why they call it the trough FEV1. And this is a measurement before they take their morning dose. And there are many different ways of interpreting the data, and it's basically showing that if you take the drug, your function will improve about 100 to 150 mLs. For those that have really severe COPD, that translates to about 14% improvement in lung function. And this data basically shows over time as how the function is maintained over time. To cut and make this program real short, I want to show another slide set, if possible. And if you use the drug in combination with another LABA, i.e. you shift from a group B to a group C COPD patient, and if you add it, you'll see that in combination it improves by 240 mLs. Okay? Before it was 130, 140, and now you get another 100 mL improvement. So if your patient is still symptomatic on a LAMA only, add a LABA to it, their function improves more. And if they forget, their function is 200 mLs higher in the morning versus not taking any inhaler. And this is the part that I actually like the most in the trial, is that if you read the part with the little cross at the bottom, if the patient is taking the drug for the first time ever, get improvement within 12 minutes. This is one of the fastest acting inhaler on the market now, short of albuterol. And if you take it 3 months later, it actually works within 5 minutes. Okay? Within 5 minutes, you take it, you get a 230 mL improvement. Over time, because it's a BID dosing, the lung function drops about 140, and then at night, you take it again, you get an additional improvement. This BID dosing is there in part because I believe that at night, a lot of our lung patients actually drop 20%. They develop what's called hypoventilation syndrome. A lot of them can't sleep at night because they can't breathe. And a lot of these patients actually get admitted in the middle of the night because their function drops. And by having it improving and taking it at night, you actually improve further. And of course, if your lung function is improving, your symptom scores are better, your SGRQ is better. You use less albuterol use for both the C3 alone and in combination. And that if you take it over a year period, your lung function is still better than if you don't take it at all. And of course, safety-wise, it's very similar for C3 as well as in combination. Most of the symptoms is mostly nasopharyngitis because when you inhale, it goes up into your nose. There are a few patients that have blood pressure a little higher. If you haven't done clinical trials, you know that you're not allowed to drink coffee in the morning. How many people can't drink coffee? How they feel? Very grumpy. And so if you're a little grumpy, your blood pressure is going to be a little high. Most of the patients are older, so they will have a little bit of back pain. And all the LAMA effects, as prostate, glaucoma, Mattis Hatter, dry mouth, as you can see it's on the bottom there, it says less than 1%. Okay? So bottom line is you have a drug in a device that is really easy to use, low resistance. It's like sucking through a straw. If you take the drug, 5 minutes later you'll feel better. If you take it for a long time, you'll see an improvement. Your trough level goes up about 150 mLs. And if you take it again, you keep improving. So by the fact that it works fast, it keeps on working, and you get further improvement, your patient compliance is going to be very high. And this is reflected in, during the trial, the discontinuation rate of the drug versus not taking anything was a lot better. Patients stayed on the drug because they kept on working. Okay? And that's the bottom line, is what you want for your patients. Is get them better, get them to use it a lot, and use less albuterol. And of course, it's very low side effect. How many people have used Udubron as a device in their practice? So it's, I've been working with this drug and its development since phase 2 over the last 6 to 8 years. It's a wonderful drug. It works really fast. And I encourage you, if you haven't tried it, try it in your practice. If you have patients that are short of breath, give it to them in the office. If it works within 5 minutes and they feel better, the likelihood that they will use it is very high. And then, of course, in the past, because of the SMART trial, asthma-related death was there, but as of December of last year, the FDA has removed all the black box warning with LABA. And one minor issue, in Europe, the dosing is different as a result. There was a subclass of patients that actually developed angioedema. And they believe that it's related to the fact that this powder is mixed with milk protein. It's not lactose, it's actually the milk protein, and so the patient may have milk allergy, not lactose intolerance. So if you have patients that are allergic to milk, make sure they don't take the drug. So with that, I will leave it open for any questions if you like. And I can actually, we'll try to answer them in Vietnamese if you like.
Thank you, Dr. Pham, for a very informative discussion, and I'm surprised that no one in the room has used the Udebron. So maybe you should give it a try. Do you have any questions in the audience?
So we can use as a monotherapy?
Uh,
So Seabree is a llama only. That can be used as monotherapy. And it's mostly indicated, as you saw already, in the class A, class B, and some patients with class C. If you're symptomatic, walking around, of course, as a patient, you don't want to feel symptomatic. For those patients, you want to escalate therapy. Okay? But usually, if they're brand new and their symptoms are not as bad as you judge clinically, I would use the monotherapy of Seabree. And if they're still symptomatic, then you start escalating therapy by adding another LABA to it, i.e. Udebron.
Can it still be used with the albuterol?
Yes, albuterol can be used as a rescue inhaler in between. Because this drug works 12-hour cycle, and most of our patients, like this weather is cold, they will get short of breath. They're walking outside, or they're playing golf, and they feel short of breath. They can take out their albuterol and use more. This drug in the U.S. is actually half the dose in Europe. They've done trials where they titrated the dose up to 4 or 5 times. They did not see any significant change in cardiovascular risk, but caution should be done so that you don't overdose. The European dose is twice this dose, so they take 2 in a day, although not recommended, should be safe.
I have one question. So what are the recommendations for pregnant women who need to use these medications?
The question is, what is the recommendation for pregnant women?
Now, in the past, they used to do pregnancy testing because FDA mandate. The problem now is that no women will enter clinical trial. And so it's incredibly hard to do any trials with pregnancy. So only pregnancy data is based on animals. Most trials, most drugs now that's new will not have a pregnancy indication. And it will be a class C. There's only 1 or 2 drugs that I know of in respiratory that's a class B.
Thank you.
So I have a question. When we were out there talking, you mentioned to me that Udebron had side effects. They're not really side effects, a salutary effect. Is that you notice people have improved in cardiac function using this medication. Are there any other positive effects that you've seen with this medication?
So as you know, most people with COPD develop air trapping, and their cardiac function actually gets worse with air trapping. Recently, in an article published in Lancet, shows that their LVEDP, i.e. their cardiac function and their volume, actually improves by taking this inhaler within 2 weeks. Their heart function improves. Second thing, the reason why I thought you were anesthesia, is that the drug is used in anesthesia, and it actually helps suppress cough, and there's papers on it. So most of our COPDers have smoker's cough. So it can actually potentially suppress cough in addition to improving their lung function, and also potentially improving their cardiac function. And how many COPDers have cardiac risk and cardiac disease? Very much, a lot of people have.
One last question I have is I noticed one of your slides is that this is a BID dosing. Now, why would you want BID dosing instead of once a day?
One of the biggest arguments is that once a day helps improve compliance. But as you know, drugs and pharmacokinetics, it drops off with time. The drug wears off. As you can see here, lung function actually is dropping off around 11 or 12 hours. And if you take it again, your function improves. Second thing is physiologically, COPDers actually lose 20% of their lung function at night when they sleep. So if you have a drop and you're able to increase it by another 80 to 100 mLs, you can actually prevent some of the hypoventilation syndrome that occurs in COPD.
Any more questions from the audience? So one last question from me. I know that you show the device several times. Now, what's so special about the device that you are showing? Different it is with the other devices on the market.
So there's a machine that you can connect to these devices to measure airway resistance and the ability to resist the flow of the drug through the devices. There's the LIPTA, there's MDIs, and so on. This is all patient coordinated, so if they don't inhale, nothing goes in. Second thing, the resistance on it is basically just a plastic tube. So it's the lowest resistance device on the market. And so if you have a device that is easily inhaled, it will deliver the drug better.
That's fantastic. Well, thank you very much for taking your time. I know you're from Orange County and you came a long way. So lastly, once again, I'd like to thank Sonovian for sponsoring the event. If you have any questions regarding the inhaler, Marsha, Marsha, where are you? Marsha is back there. You can go back there and ask her, and she'll give you more information about doing the program. So with that, I'd like to invite Dr. Song Lei to come up back on stage.
Chương trình về những hoạt động của hội trong năm vừa qua. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like now to invite the president of our association, Dr. Dong Phúc. He will come back to the stage now and we'll go over the activities that the association has been performing over the last 1 year. Some anticipatory plans for the following year. Dr. Phúc, please come on stage. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, while you enjoying dinner, on behalf of the Vietnamese Physician Association, I wanted to share with you our activities and also information about upcoming events. At first, regarding the scholarship program, in 2017, we granted 10 scholarship awards of $1,500 to 10 outstanding Vietnamese high school seniors. This year, just 2 months after sending out letters asking for donation, we received contribution from significant numbers of physicians. There are more individual physicians donating $1,000 and more, and there was a generous donation from well-known healthcare organization, Viet Care. That's it. I would like to thank you very much for all donors, and also for the scholarship committee members for hard work and devoted to this meaningful program. The upcoming 23rd scholarship ceremony will be held on May 11th, and we will grant 10 scholarships of $1,500 each. As you know, we have been running radio talk show titled Ask the Doctor every week for almost 20 years. Last year, there were more physicians of diverse specialties collaborated with us to make the program more interesting. Thank you very much for all the participants for their dedication to the program. As for health fair, it was a success. We realized that the community needs are very high. Because of that, we set up the first ever fundraiser for it by having VIP tickets in this event. And we received generous donations. To appreciate donors, their names will be posted on the brochure of our upcoming health fair in October. I would like to extend our thankfulness to all members and their family have contributed to the program enthusiastically. To make payment more convenient to members and other entities, now we can get payment from the Square system. To encourage networking among physicians, we launched the member profile section in our website, vpanc.net. Members can post their professional and/or personal interest to share with others by using password-protected accounts. Please note that this information is only shared with members who have accounts. Ladies and gentlemen, for the last 1 year, the Executive Committee has tried the best to work with members to make our association more successful. We deeply thankful to all of you for your support and assistance, especially Dr. Dung Mỹ Phan. Where's Dr. Dung Mỹ Phan? Please stand up. Dr. Hải Hoàng Nguyễn. Please stand up, Dr. Hải Hoàng Nguyễn. Dr. Thịnh Văn Nguyễn. Please stand up, Dr. Thịnh Văn Nguyễn. Dr. Huy Ngọc Trinh. Please stand up, Dr. Huy Ngọc Trinh. Dr. Sherman Trần. Please stand up, Dr. Sherman Trần. And also Dr. Thế Anh Nguyen. Unfortunately, he cannot be here with us today. Looking into the future, we will continue standing united to make our organization more successful in the future. Thank you very much. And now I'm going to hand over to our MC, Dr. Sherman Trần, to continue the event. Thank you.
So, how's everybody doing? Are you having a good time? The food is good. It's coming now, so I guarantee you it's going to be fine. Since we have a little bit of time here, I thought I'll do a little stand-up. It's one of my passions in life is to be a comedian, but my wife told me that my jokes are only funny to me and nobody else. So she doesn't want to come tonight for that very reason. She doesn't want to come. They say, I'm not going to come and have you embarrass yourself in front of a bunch of your doctors. But I say, you know what, being a doctor means that if you fail, you try it again, and you try it again until you succeed, right? But anyway, one of the tradition in Vietnamese Tết or Vietnamese New Year is that you hand out a red envelope to the elderly. Oh no, actually the elderly hands a red envelope to the children to wish them good fortune and good luck in the new year. But on the other hand, is that the children can also hand a red envelope to the elders, wish them a long life and health. So this is a true story about 30 years ago to the day, 30 years ago to the day, in 2000, actually wait, 1988. 1988, I graduated from college. My mom, I was that, and it was 1988, and I handed my mom a big red envelope, the size of a vanilla, regular size letter envelope. And in that envelope was an acceptance letter to medical school for me. So she pulled out, she sat there and wished her good health and gave her the red envelope. She pulled out the letter. And I'm pretty sure at that point, we just came over, but I'm pretty sure she read English. She took her time, she read every single line. It took her about 5 minutes to read the letter. She saw the logo. She saw my medical school logo. So she knows what school I got into. She read it, she put it aside. I looked at her facial expression and expected her to be absolutely delighted and excited. She just had the blank look on her face, put the letter aside, and then she opened the envelope, she looked inside, and she said, "Where's my $1 good luck money?" I go, "Mom, you don't need $1, I just got to medical school." So, the long story short is that Vietnamese moms are tough. They're really tough moms. She tells me that she loves me, but she only says that to other people that she knows. She tells her friends. She never tells me she loves me. But nothing is ever good enough. I come home and tell her, "Hey, I'm a doctor. I've been practicing for 10 years." And she told me, đừng có ngạo quá nha. Có thể có thể là thành công, nhưng mà chưa chắc chắn là thành người. So the translation is that maybe you are successful in your career, but I know for sure you are not the man I expected you to be. After 53 years in life, you still tell me the same thing every time I come home. So I stopped coming home. And it's simple. Anyway, the reason I tell you that story, not only to make fun of myself and make fun of my mom, is that I think the children nowadays are completely spoiled. But my dad always told me, "You're not going to mature until I die." And I go, "Dad, stop saying that." And every time he sees me, he says, "You know what? You're not going to mature until I die." And guess what happened? One day, he woke up and he died. He dropped dead. So now I look at my little son, 5-year-old kid, can't put his shoes on. He's still wearing diapers. He's still drinking bottled milk out of the bottle. And I tell him, "Listen, you're never going to mature." And then I say, "You know what? It's not worth it. I'm not going to die with this little boy. No way. I'm not saying it." But anyways, recently, another story. Recently, we applied to preschool for him. And we went to preschool. The preschool said, "We celebrate mistakes." And I look at my wife and I'm like, "Celebrate mistakes? Come on. Come on. If I make a failure, my mom spank me. Mistakes, you don't celebrate mistakes. You come in second, you're dead last, you're no good." But in any event, well, the reason I tell you the story. Another funny thing is that and this is a really true story too, is that when I went to kindergarten in Vietnam, one of the things I asked my mom to supply to the school, and I would say, "You want to put the kid in my kindergarten, you have to give me a bamboo stick." I go, "What's that for?" "Well, the bamboo stick that I can whip the child if he doesn't behave." So So that's what you do in Vietnam. Is that you, when you get to kindergarten, you give a bamboo stick and then whip your kid so that he'll get in line and behave. So after 1 month, the teacher went to my mom and said, "Give me another stick. This kid is horrible." That's what I want. It was horrible. Anyway, 2 sticks in 1 month. That's my story. But the reason I tell you this story, not to make fun of myself or anybody else, is that I think that nowadays, kids really have no motivation to succeed in life. It's spoon-fed by helicopter parents. And that's the reason why I got involved with the scholarship. Because I sit on the scholarship committee, we hand out 10 scholarships a year. And when I read through these applications, the kids are absolutely crazily unbelievable and motivated and smart. They study hard. They have no parents' pressure. They just want to succeed. And in that group of kids, it's so wonderful to see. It reminds me of who I was when I was young. And that's the reason why I find it so fulfilling to be on the scholarship committee and to vet these students and to help them succeed in their lives. And so I know that a lot of you have donated to the scholarship committee. I know that the largest check, individual check up to today is $2,000. And it doesn't, I would love to have someone to beat that and donate more than $2,000. But even if you have done a lot of charity work and you can donate another $25, $50 or whatever you can donate to the scholarship committee, it would help us be able to help these children fulfill their dreams and pursue their career in medicine. So I hope you can make that donation. I think we're still ahead of time. I'd like to introduce Maxi Ten Wing, and he is going to be he's a main person who puts together the entertainment. So with that, Maxi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is our honor and pleasure to present to you our annual Gala Spring Entertainment. Our theme for this year is Spring with Full Memories. And our program tonight is divided into 3 sections. The first one will include song and show to be performed by our members and their families. The second section will include show by professional artists. And the third part, and the last one, will be dancing program. So, in the first part, we have 4 MCs. Dr. Sherman Tran, Dr. Phương Thuy Lê, and Dr. Anh Huy Nguyen, and Dr. Lê Hương Nguyen. And because we have a long programs, and we have many performers, therefore the MC cannot be able to introduce names of all performers. So we ask you to look at the program sheet in front of you to look for this information. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you our first MC, Dr. Sherman Tran. Please come up.
My last duty of the night. That's it. You're not going to have to deal with me anymore. This is it. So I have a distinct pleasure to introduce to you the first song called Tiếng hát đường xa. Tiếng hát đường xa. Okay, the translation is basically a voice from a road less traveled. Does that sound about right? It's a song by Vân Phong, and it will be sung by it's going to be coordinated by Dr. Bin Lê and all the classmates from the Saigon Medical School. So Dr. Bin Lê and the group, please come on stage.
Kính mời quý vị thưởng thức nhạc phẩm Tiếng hát đường xa cho do các bạn cùng lớp đi qua năm thứ mấy, năm 67 6673 bạn cùng lớp, và xin các bạn hát hợp ca không ạ? Vâng. Xin bắt đầu.
Anh vẫn chưa dưới chân đồi gió cũng đang đi trôi, cất tiếng hát với công đàn nâng cao vút không gian, sóng nước tiếng giữa non ngàn ngàn bước tiến lên đường, nắng gió bao không coi thường nắng suýt trai can trường, đi khắp ngàn phương cho biết đại dương linh ngót trên nẻo đường, leo dốc đồi cao dẫn bước đường xa cùng hát vang lên nào, và hát cho quên sâu cho đồi núi tươi màu theo nhịp câu, và hát vang cung đàn bên dòng suối mơ màng cao hà cao, từ con dài cùng nhau ta các bước tiến tới vượt ngàn dặm mà đi đến nơi, dù rằng gặp rừng hoang hay suối vắng chắc lối, đường về nhà bằng trăng sáng soi. Anh đang chiêu dưới chân đồi gió cuốn đang lùi trôi, cất tiếng hát với cung đàn nguyện cao vút không gian, sông nước đi giữa non ngàn ngàn bước tiến lên đường, nắng gió bao không coi thường đang sức trai can trường, đi khắp ngàn phương cho biết đại dương linh ngót trên nẻo đường, leo dốc đồi cao dẫn bước đường xa cùng hát vang lên nào, ta hát cho quên sâu cho đời núi tươi màu theo nhịp câu, ta hát vang cung đàn bên dòng suối mơ màng là hoa cao, từ con dài cùng nhau ta gắng bước tiến tới vượt ngàn dặm mà đi đến nơi, dù rằng gặp rừng hoang hay suối vắng chắc lối, đường về nhà vẫn trăng sáng soi, ta hát cho quên sâu cho đồi núi tươi màu theo nhịp câu, ta hát vang cung đàn bên dòng suối mơ màng là hoa cao, lắng nghe một cung đàn hoa vang lên xa xa, vang lên xa xa, vang lên xa xa, và trên đường xa.
Xin chào tất cả các anh chị, tôi là bác sĩ Phương Thúy và tôi xin phép được nói tiếng Anh để cho chương trình nó ngắn gọn hơn. So we just hear a song, very brief, maybe 2 minutes or so. But can you imagine the practice time? The whole group has been practiced for several months in order to be here tonight to perform for you guys. Are you impressed? One more round of applause for the singing group, for the physicians and their significant honors. So this is an opportunity to really show off some other things that you do besides being a professional physician. And it's fun. And more fun is to have an opportunity to get together, to get to know each other, and to be on the stage. The best way to be known is to be on the stage. Do you know that? So anyway, tonight's performance has been practiced very carefully, very organized, spending so many hours together to practice. And we have fun. It's stressful, but also we have fun. And the second performance is very meaningful about Vietnamese culture. So ladies and gentlemen, Vietnam is a very small country, but it has its culture is very distinctive in 3 regions. The north is different from the center, and the center is different from the south. And then in many, many ways, in many aspects, language, accent, food,
etiquette, ways of life. Tonight, the physicians and the significant others will demonstrate to you just some fashion, some outfits, dancing and singing, reflecting some of the Vietnamese culture. So please enjoy. This is a practice that's been happening in the last several months. It takes a lot of time and hard work. So focus and enjoy and identify. Identify your friends, your colleagues, and your significant others. Mà quê hương ba miền, Việt Nam, and 3 different regions, North, Center, and South. Here we go.
Non nước hữu tình bác nhật xinh đẹp quá, từ những câu hò ý nhạc thành bài ca. Ngày vui em đến thăm Hà Nội, gió chiều hồ gươm vang bóng thời xưa. 36 phố phường ngắm cửa ô cổ kinh, về đất quan họ hát mừng ngày hội ngẩn ngơ như bức tranh tuyệt vời, ngắm vịnh Hạ Long ngất từ gây chùa về rồi thăm dòng sông nước, đường qua Viet chờ đón ba người bình. Thăm lăng di tích Tóc Tiên, tóc thề chầm vai nghiêng nón qua trường tiền. Đêm trăng buồn trên bến vắng lâu, ngâm câu mái đậy dòng ai nghe thảm sầu. Bên đi bên ở ai mong chờ, xa rồi mà lòng thương Huế đẹp mộng mơ.
Về Sài Gòn đọc qua lịch sử, từ lúc Tây Hoàng xuống miền lâu tình xưa, cho hôm nay tương lai thêm sáng ngời, làm cánh bốn phương đến rồi không nỡ đi. Đêm Sài Gòn ngõ sắc ngõ đỏ, thành phố xa hoa suốt từ 3 thế kỷ qua. Giang ơi tay hoa khơi anh đón mời, cùng với năm châu Sài Gòn một viễn đông. Giang ơi tay hoa khơi anh đón mời, cùng với năm châu Sài Gòn một viễn đông.
Và xin mời 4 ca sĩ kế tiếp nha. Quý vị thấy là mấy diva của hội quá xuất sắc phải không quý vị? Bây giờ tới phiên divo của hội, mấy anh này cũng không kém gì hết nhá. Thì cái tiết mục tới là một màn liên khúc về ca ngợi quê hương em còn nhớ, và Những bản nhạc là Hà Nội ngày tháng cũ của Sông Ngọc, Áo lụa Hà Đông của Ngô Thụy Miên, Còn chút gì để nhớ của Phạm Duy, Tình yêu như bóng mây của Sông Ngọc, và cuối cùng là Em còn nhớ mùa xuân. Quý vị biết là những bản nhạc này là ca ngợi về những thành phố, những cái người yêu cũ của mình khi mình đã đi ngang qua. Thì quý vị biết là người Việt Nam chúng ta, đàn ông á, rất là lãng mạn. Miễn mà đi tới thành phố nào là yêu cái thành phố đó. Mà khi đi yêu rồi là phải yêu một cô thôn nữ nào hoặc thiếu nữ nào đó. Rồi khi về nhà mới nhớ, rồi mới nói chuyện, rồi mới ngồi suy nghĩ. Thành ra đàn ông chúng tôi lãng mạn lắm. Ladies and gentlemen, the next song will be performed is a medley of great romantic songs composed by very famous composers. These songs are about the love for the cities and the people there. And I just like to tell you that Vietnamese men are very romantic. So whenever they go to any city, they love that city. And after they love the city, they have to find somebody they love. And then they forget that they have a wife at home. So the women now are very smart. They don't let the men go alone. I guarantee you here, all the married doctors who are here today, their wife is sitting next to them. So anyway, the next song will be performed by Dr. Đặng Vũ Bái, Đường Minh Hoàng, Nguyễn Văn Thịnh và Trương Ngọc Hiền. Please welcome.
Rồi mai tôi sẽ ra Đà Lạt, thành phố này xin trả lại cho em ngàn ôm buồn. Chiều nay im tiếng ngồi giáo đường lặng đứng suy tư. Rồi mai tôi sẽ xa Đà Lạt, đồi núi buồn xin gửi lại cho em và con đường đủ sương răng mắt. Hai đứa hôm nào lạnh buốt trong tình yêu.
Em có bao giờ còn nhớ mùa xuân, nhớ năm xưa của tuổi dài, nhớ tên dương cầm giọng hát trẻ thơ, có thấy bơ vơ ngày tháng đời chờ.
Nơi anh bây giờ còn có mùa xuân, có dáng như nụ cười thật gần, có mắt lai vàng lời sáng tình xanh. Em có bao giờ thấu cho lòng
Trời Sài Gòn chiều hôm nay còn nhiều mây nhiều niềm đau bí ẩn tràn đầy. Gặp nụ cười giọt lệ trên môi, nhìn đất nước tươi vời. Một lời em có hay những thành phố em sẽ đi qua, để ta đến với anh luôn với anh những khó đau buồn Sài Gòn hôm qua, những khó đau buồn Sài Gòn mãi xa. Em có mơ ngày hát câu hậu hương, em nhé khi nào chợt nhớ mùa xuân, nhớ lá thư xanh và chuyến tình hồng, nhớ nắng thanh vàng nhuộm áo hà đông. Anh ở nơi này vẫn luôn chờ mong, nhớ nắng thanh vàng nhuộm áo hà đông. Anh ở nơi này vẫn luôn chờ
Hôm nay Lê Hương rất là hân hạnh được giới thiệu với quý vị một tác phẩm gọi là Nhớ một chiều xuân. Tác phẩm này được sáng tác bởi nhạc sĩ Nguyễn Văn Đông. Nhạc sĩ Nguyễn Văn Đông là một người rất là nổi tiếng và ông đã làm những bài thơ và những bài nhạc tiền chiến, mà trong đó có 2 bài gọi là Chiều mưa biên giới và Nhớ một chiều xuân rất là đặc biệt. Qua tiếng hát của Hà Thanh đã làm rung động nhiều quả tim của người ta. Và ông Nguyễn Văn Đông còn là một đại tá thời quân lực Việt Nam Cộng Hòa. Và khi ông đi qua Hawaii để mà học thêm chiến thuật thì ông đã có quen với một người con gái. Và cái bài hát này là một chuyện tình dang dở của chính ông, thành ra nó rất là đặc biệt. Và vì sau khi ông về Việt Nam lại thì vì chiến tranh xảy ra cho nên ông không trở lại được Hawaii để nối tiếp cái tình xưa. Và ông đã viết một cái bài hát này và Lê Hương xin cốt là chiều nay thấy hoa cười chợt nhớ một người. Đó là cái cảm xúc để ông viết lên cái bài nhạc này, gọi là còn thấy nhớ một chiều xuân. Và hôm nay được qua tiếng hát trầm ấm của bác sĩ Nguyễn Văn Thịnh và ban nhạc của những người Vũ, gồm có dưới sự director của ông Joe Lorenzo, bác sĩ Nguyễn Ngọc Tuấn. Đừng xin phép được giới thiệu bác sĩ Nguyễn Ngọc Tuấn và phu nhân. Xong sau đó là bác sĩ Lê Phương Thúy và tiến sĩ Francis Liu là husband. Và một người cuối cùng là chị Bích Thủy và anh Tâm Lê. Thank you so much. Please enjoy.
Chiều nay thấy hoa cười chợt nhớ một người, chạnh lòng tôi khơi bao niềm nhớ. Người nơi xa xăm phương trời ấy, người còn buồn còn thương còn nhớ. Nắng phai rồi em ơi, chiều xuân có một người ngỡ ngác đi tìm, một tình thương nơi phương trời cũ. Chiều nay hoa xuân bay nhiều quá, chiều tàn dần phai trên ngàn lá, tìm đâu bóng hình ai. Người về còn nhớ khúc ngàn, người yêu dấu bên bờ thành biên. Lòng này còn quyến luyến mãi, đến xuân dài mà đâu có hay. Chiều nay có một loài hoa vỡ bên trời, đợi mùa xuân sang tô màu nhớ. Dừng chân trong hoa xuân hồng thắm, buồn tìm về tình ai đằng thắm, giờ buồn vút trời mây. xuân bay nhiều quá, chiều tàn dần phai trên ngàn lá, tìm đâu bóng hình ai. Người về còn nhớ không ngàn, người yêu dấu bên bờ thành viên. Lòng còn hương thiên mãi, đến xuân dài mà đâu có hay. Chiều nay có một loài hoa mơ bên trời, đời mùa xuân sáng tôi mong nhớ. Dừng chân trong hoa xuân hồng thắm, muốn tìm về tình ai đằng thắm, giờ buồn muốn trời mây. Dừng chân trong hoa xuân hồng thắm, muốn tìm về tình ai đằng thắm, giờ buồn phút trời mây.
Thank you, dancer.